Being raised up in the back is because when we took off the rebar, we had to have another support mechanism to hold it. And so what we did was we came off and had a piece of pipe, 2 pieces of pipe that held it. But the thing is that we had to put the cement up higher to cover the pipe.
Right. Yeah, at first you wanted me to try and tip this piece up. But
one of my favorite pictures is okay. I was like, I know it's somewhere. Yeah.
Your store is the biggest single improvement. No, this park. He was with Dr. Goodman.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to be cutting the ribbon in this direction, so if you're standing off to the side, you may want to move around to the front. Good afternoon. I'm Anita Pellegrini. I'm with the Chamber of Commerce here in town, and we are delighted to be part of this dedication of this renovation of Walnut Park, one of our oldest parks in Petaluma. I want to start out by introducing just a few dignitaries that are here this afternoon. The first one starting with our Vice Mayor, Kathy Miller. City Council members Dave King and Chris Albertson. I understand our Assistant City Manager Scott Bodum is in the house too. There he is. Hey Scott, thanks. I'm sure most of you know the history of this park, and you're going to hear a little bit more about it in a minute. But we are standing across the street from Addie Atwater's house, and she was the woman back when Petaluma was first becoming what it is, that was looking out her window and saw the children playing out here, and the cattle being taken to the rail cars was stampeding, and children were scattering everywhere. And she said, our kids in Petaluma are not safe. So she bought this piece of property and went to the city and had it dedicated to a park. And the Women's Improvement Club went out and bought 100 walnut trees and planted them here so the children would have a safe place to play in the center and heart of their community. So here we are today. Service clubs in Petaluma have long been attached to this park, and we've done much work around here, accumulating with what you're going to hear about in a few minutes. We have a lot of very special people to thank. So I am going to introduce you to the spark plug behind the whole renovation, without which none of this would have ever got off the ground, who has tirelessly worked behind the scenes, prodding and sometimes urging and probably sometimes tearing her hair out and crying to get us to where we are today. Maureen Francis.
Hello, everyone. Anyone who knows me knows how nervous I get, so hang in there, okay? Thank you, Anita. That was really, really cool. And welcome all of the dignitaries today. And thank you to everyone for joining in here to the celebration for the rebirth of our treasured children's park. So look around. Do you see anything different about what's happened here?
It looks a lot better.
Anything?
Yeah, it looks a lot better.
Oh, there you are.
It looks a lot better.
Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, before you leave the park today, make sure you strut your stuff, okay? And check around here and see what you're celebrating, and with your help, what we've been able to accomplish. So please indulge me for a minute here. I'd like to thank my husband, Paul Brown, my kids who are gathered right over here, and having a long, proud history in Petaluma. They're walking the footsteps of our ancestors too, back into the 1800s. So we're honored to have our community's trust in knowing that we would safely restore this park. And we've done our due diligence by studying and following its path of history. And for years of research, we'd like to thank Catherine Reinhardt, Janet Graysick, the Petaluma Historical Museum with President Harry Neubauer, Solange Ruzick, Lucy Cordon, Bill Hammerman, and many other historians. The coalition, the Petaluma Service Alliance, is a coalition of 7 service clubs We've all come together. It's Petaluma Rotary, Petaluma Host Lions, Petaluma Sunrise Rotary, Petaluma 7-Eleven Lions, Petaluma Kiwanis, they're all gathered around here today. Petaluma Valley Rotary, and the Elks Lodge 901. So we've come together for this, our 6th project, and we stay local with our support so that we serve our hometown. So a very special acknowledgement to the very hardworking and loyal Petaluma Service Alliance Committee. And to follow up with what Onita had to say about the park, the first ever women's service club, the first ever one in the country, Addie Atwater formed the Ladies Improvement Club in 1873. Pretty amazing. So, and then around 50 years later, another service club, the Den of the Lions, came in and built our beautiful bandstand. They later installed cement and wooden benches. And then in the 1990s, Petaluma Rotary Club added the children's playground. So does history repeat itself? Yes. Here we are again today, nearly 140 years later, along with our community partners, working together because we care, and because we need community, and because we're all extended family. Thank you so much. There's many hard-working hands during this project, and they've laid a loving touch on this park so that we leave a professional job well done. So check out the beautiful bandstand, you can see. All freshly painted and with its brick red roof being restored to its original color. The Brainerd Jones being restored, painted. We have work to do on it, so keep tuned on that one. At the entrance of 4th and B Street, you're going to see, check out the boulder with the bronze engraved donor's plaque. And walk around the bandstand and note the beautifully etched commemorative bricks of those who are now permanently memorialized in Petaluma history. So if you haven't really noticed the new concrete, so were it not for your help, we would still be knee-deep in potholes. There's one very important thing that you may not have noticed, and that's the return of kids laughing, screaming, running, riding their scooters and bikes, doing about 60 miles an hour, figure eights around the bandstand and around the playground. So I'm thinking we might need a cop in here to start writing some tickets on these little guys before somebody gets kneecapped, okay? Here they are. So if you want to dig, you can actually, when the kids are, and I have jumped out of the way, if you need to take refuge, you can just jump into the rose bushes that we planted, okay? I'm trying to get this done real quick because we have some fun coming ahead. So the kids are gathered here. Did you see them? Yeah. So if you see the kids gathered around this peace pole, they happen to be our future young community builders in training. Yay. So we're very proud, by the way, speaking of the Peace Pole, to have Mike Ward here of Marble World. I don't know if Paul Mathias is here from J&M Manufacturing, but they donated this gift of this beautiful international Peace Pole to us. So I'd love to have Sam and Veron. Applause for them. Thank you. And I think it's the only peace pole of its type in this whole area. It's an international peace monument. Modeled after a Columbia University Peace Project to say peace in many languages. And how appropriate that children can touch, can pronounce, and hear the word peace, and then locate its country of origin. So a forward-thinking tool, it's a teaching tool. So go by the monument, check it out, and hear the sound of peace. So an equally important component of this park is the Brainerd Jones building, built in 1941. Designated to remain a children's playroom to read, rest, and play games. So it could be easily considered an early preschool. So we're still presently looking at its needed repairs. And this children's building and playground qualified us to be listed in the Library of Congress. So please stay with your park, join with your family and friends to see that this remains a safe children's park, and join us with seeking its safety. What? Oh. Humming. Okay, got it. Okay, all right. I need it.
Okay, thank you, Maureen. Once again, we owe her a debt of gratitude. And you all know that the wheels of progress don't turn without the dollars to support them. And so the donors to this park are major donors are here, and we're going to ask them to step to the microphone. But it doesn't happen without those dollars, and they were very, very quick to the instant they were approached to jump on board with this project. So we have Friedman Brothers with us today.
We're actually not brothers. He's my father. Oh. Well, we're here. I'm Barry Friedman. It's my dad, Bill Friedman, and we're here on behalf of the whole Friedman's teams that make it possible for us to contribute to community projects like this. And how do you say no to a spark plug like Maureen and Onita taking you to coffee a few years ago and sharing their vision for Walnut Park? And the things that were intriguing to us, obviously this is a hub of the Petaluma community, being right here downtown with the playground and the farmers market, and this is where the parades end. So it's a hub of the community. We wanted to be part of that. And the fact that the whole community came together, that this is a park for the community, by the community, is really what was intriguing as well. Local businesses coming together and the Petaluma Service Alliance coming together, really, we wanted to be a part of that. So great job, Petaluma community. Great job, Maureen and Onita, putting this together. So we're glad to be a part of it.
I just want to bring up one thing, like the deep roots of the walnut trees. Our family started in business here in 1946 with a little junkyard on Washington Street. And we are so proud to be back here in this wonderful community that I grew up in. So thank you very much, and we're so proud to be right here. Thank you.
Another one of our major donors and a big contributor to the service clubs and to all of the nonprofits of Petaluma, and probably a big contributor to a lot of you out there, is Lagunitas Brewing.
I was gonna bring beer, but you know, all the kids and everything, they start stealing it and climbing on stuff, and it doesn't go well. No, just kidding. You know, Onita has been, you know, as you all know, a community supporter in a huge way, as Maureen has, and we've been really proud to work with both of them on a lot of different things. When this came around, our CFO, Leon Sharon, lives right down the street, and he has a checkbook, it turns out. I always asked Robin, I said, do we have any money? And she'd go, no, but we have beer. I was like, okay, well, we'll just see how far that goes. So we've been trying to turn beer into money for the cause for a long time. And, you know, as we've grown, well, we wouldn't have without all you guys. Without everybody in the town of Petaluma getting behind us and believing in us and supporting us in a lot of ways. So we're proud to be part of this community. We try to, you know, when I started working for Tony in 1995, he said, you know, find every way you can to become part of this wonderful community. So we do, and we try. And again, we couldn't do it without you guys. And, you know, just give us a call anytime. So cheers. Here's the beer.
Thank you, Ron. And our last one of our major donors is Shamrock Materials.
Good afternoon, everyone. When Ms. Francis asked us to be part of this project, the first thing that obviously came to mind was how iconic this place that we're standing at right now is to Petaluma. So many of us have been born and raised here, had our children play at the playgrounds that she spoke about. Generations have come here to play. And it's also been a gathering place, like she said, for over 140 years, and host to so many things, whether it's farmers markets, art festivals, the list goes on, and not the least, the children that we see playing right here, and how much joy and fun that this place brings to them. There are a lot of projects that we're asked to participate every year, just like a lot of you are,
And there's only a few, though, that come along that benefit so many, and this is one of those projects. And this project alone will probably touch every Petaluman at one point in their life, whether it's coming here to a parade or being part of a festival or just coming to the farmer's market. So Petaluma, like Friedman's and some of the other sponsors, this is our home as well. And we're very honored to participate in this re-beautification of the park, and hope that this landmark serves many generations to come. I'd like to thank Ms. Francis, all the Petaluma Alliance, and everybody else that's been involved in this. We're just so grateful that we were able to participate as well, and also thank Lagunitas and Friedman's and all the other sponsors that have helped out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, major donors. I believe you've had your picture taken. If you haven't, we want to get a picture out by the boulder before you leave today. Okay, well, we all know that a city doesn't just do its good work on all of us volunteers. We also have to have those who are really in charge. And we are pleased this afternoon to have 3 of our city council members with us. So come on, guys, step forward. And Dave King is also the liaison from the council to the Park and Recs Commission, and I think he's going to be the lead spokesperson here, so take it away.
Thank you. You think? You asked me. It's always good to follow the beer guy. It's never going to go uphill from there. As Anita mentioned, I'm on the city council, and I'm the council representative to the Park and Rec Commission, so part of our process was for the park to go through the Park and Rec. And I'm relatively new to the council, and one of the first things you learn on city council is that the city has needs that go this high and money that goes this high, and you have to try to figure out how to make it work. And it's not, it's obvious where one of the places where we have trouble finding money is in our parks. There are other priorities to the city that go above parks, but parks are really, in many respects, the soul of the city. And the other thing you learn on city council, and you probably know this by being a citizen, is that many people, none of you here because you're all participants, tend to believe that government is some entity that's over there. It's referred to as they, and it's really not part of any aspect of their life. In a city like Petaluma, and any small city, you can't operate that way. You need to have a relationship between the city government and the people who actually live, work, and enjoy themselves within the city. And never was that clearer in the project here to fix this park and make it the beautiful park that it is today. The city does its best to maintain parks. We're trying to build a new large park over on the east side of town, Petaluma Community Sports Fields. It's halfway done. But maintaining these parks is difficult. And it took all the citizens from the 7 clubs in the Service Club Alliance, and in particular, Maureen, if you come forward here one more time to be recognized. I don't have, not being the mayor, I don't have any official proclamation, but I think that all of us can say to you, thank you. And thank you to everybody who did the work, the physical work, who raised the money, who contributed, and who made this a reality. So thank you. And since no one has mentioned the specific clubs, Anita was kind enough to provide a list, and I do think, even though they're on the monument there, I think they should be recognized along with Maureen. And they are the Petaluma Valley Rotary, the Petaluma Sunrise Rotary, Petaluma Rotary, Petaluma Kiwanis, Petaluma Host Lions, Petaluma 7-Eleven Lions, and Petaluma Elks Lodge 901, and all those members. So thank you, and thanks for your time.
Okay, we're going to cut the ribbon now. We're going to ask Maureen and a rep from each one of the service clubs to step to the front. I'm going to ask a couple of them to hold this ribbon real, real tight. Hold the edges of that ribbon really tight. Okay. Okay. Gary Brody, president of the Petaluma Rotary Club. You want to scoot up here real quick? You know, this is probably a phenomena for service clubs to work together as closely as the Service Alliance does. We often compete for members and compete for dollars. So this is typical of Petaluma to bring everybody together to make it work for the betterment of the community. So Maureen, we're going to ask you to go ahead and cut that ribbon.
I want to again thank the Petaluma Service Alliance for all their hard and loyal work. We could never have done this without them and with all our loyal community supporters. Thank you.
One, two,